Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back again. Here we are, this episode 2 of Pocket Like It's Hot. And my gosh, what a train ride it's been. A slow train ride to Philly, and we'll get into that in a second. But my gosh, we've gotten the best response from episode 1 with the broccoli cheddar chicken episode. I mean, everyone was writing letters. I couldn't believe that we actually got fan mail. I went out to my life-size Bass mailbox I have outside, and I opened it up, and it was just overflowing with credit card bills. But in the middle somewhere, there were some fan letters. So I thought it'd be fun if, before we get started here today, I just read a couple for you. So, excuse me, Snoop, I'm going to put you over here for a minute. So it looks like the first letter we have is from the 181st Comptroller flight, which, to my understanding, is basically the finance office of the Air National Guard in Terre Haute, Indiana. Didn't expect this, guys and gals, but let's just see what you have to say. Dear Terry, we are in charge of all the finances in the Air National Guard base in Terre Haute, Indiana. We don't know what we're doing. Everyone's checks are wrong. Please help. I don't carry the one, I suppose. I don't really know a lot about math, but I guess I expected this to be more of a Hot Pocket related letter. But guys and girls, get your S together, I suppose, and give people their money. It's the Air Force. It's not rocket science. Okay. Letter number 2. Looks like we've got a letter from Felipe Marin. Seems to just be a nude photo of him. I assume it's him. Lots of black hair. And finally, we've got an interesting letter. Hey, every superstar has, their groupies, I guess you could say. This just says, Dear Terrence, DTF, ? Love Patricia. I don't know who the hell Patricia is. That's interesting. DTF.
You don't know who Patricia is?
Dear God. Oh, sorry.
That is my God-given name. It's Patricia. You
One
know
more
that.
word. One more word.
You don't remember it from my wedding?
I try to forget that day all the time. That's why I drink. Okay. Well, anywho, I thought what we would do is we talk about what we have going on today. So as I mentioned yesterday, we're going to be taking a dip south of the border, the Canadian border, and we're going to be trying the Philly cheesesteak today. And as you can see here, it is made with a croissant crust, which sounds delicious and French, so I don't really trust it. Before we get into that, I want to talk about some famous people that came from Philadelphia. Some of my favorite people who are as real as it gets. First up, we've got Rocky Balboa, famous pro wrestler from the streets of Philly. Love him. Always been more of a Hulk Hogan fan myself. He's got better skin. M. Night Shyamalan, the director who did Lady in the Water, The Village, Sixth Sense, which is one of my favorites.
Oh, he was dead. He was dead the whole time, right? In Sixth Sense.
Spoiler alert, Trish. My God, I swear I can't take you. Anyway, and my favorite African American group, Boys to Men. Remember that jam back in the day? It's the end of the road. I could be a famous singer. I could. Well, anywho, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's do a quick comparison like we did last week. We look inside what seems to be stuck to the plate. It's like Sword in the Stone. That is gross. Okay, let's pry you open. Okay. Guys, take a look at the comparison here. I mean, you've got it all. You've got thick slices of roast beef, which was actually Trisha's nickname in high school. You've also got some beautiful green and red peppers in there. I hope they're not too spicy, although I do like it hot. Ask Brad. Let's go ahead and dig in here. Oh my gosh, there's so many flavors going through my mouth right now. I'd say the largest one is probably confusion. The beef tastes like a mixture of what I can only describe as very moist cardboard paper and rubbery shit. This is awful. Why? I'm not taking that away. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up because that's one of the worst things I've ever had. Before we do that, I'd like to wash it down with an ice cold Rockstar recovery drink. Rockstar, for when you're too fancy for meth, but you still want to party. Oh, that resembles urine in a very, very real way. Well, let's bring Snoop back into the mix, and let me tell you, folks, next week I'm going to blow your socks off. We're going to go truly south of the border. We're going to try something a little spicy, a little Mexican, if you will, and just like Trump says, they're going to pay for it. So here we go. This was the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life. And I went to Coachella.